There are many, probably there are people knocking on your doors, probably day in, day out, trying to figure out, okay, what's out there that I can do that I probably, shift from being a corporate employee where my job is threatened by technology, etc., and move to a different world where probably I can create some sort of a financial security for me and my family for the next foreseeable future. As they're going through this, what's your advice in terms of to watch for red flags, etc.? So what are the things that, if somebody comes to you and says, I want to do this, what do you advise them on to watch for?
Yeah, it's a great question. Well, first off, going back to the basics, nothing changes no matter who I'm working with. We want to make sure that the ideal model and match is there. Red flags are when you're meeting with the founder and they can't tell you about the future of the business. Red flag is, talking to franchisees and hearing a completely different story. Not talking with just one, but multiple, and it's not linking up with what the franchisor has to say. And you have the right to have that understanding in speaking with the franchisor. Red flag would be you have an initial call. Initial call, by the way, this is just a two-way interview, right fit type of call with the franchise brand, and they're already inviting you to a discovery day, which is the last step in the process. That's a red flag. They may say, hey, by the way, it's October or whatever, and the next one is going to be in January. It's something to aim for. That's okay. But if they're inviting you, well, how the heck do they know if you're even a good fit at that point in time? It takes multiple calls, multiple meetings. Now, when you talk about everything going on in the world, again, you go back to your franchise model, look for the matches, and then you look for the brands that overperform, exceed expectation. We've had multiple founders of franchise companies that are investing millions, in some cases tens of millions of dollars in AI. They could do that because they are, they're utilizing their network. They have 50, 100, 150 plus franchisees. They have the royalties, the franchise fees coming in, and they're reinvesting a lot of that money into AI. We were working with one franchisor. They said that our call center can handle up to 1,000 calls at the same time, so that yes, there's always going to be staff on hand, but the AI is helping with the quick responses, the quick questions, the scheduling and stuff like that, where maybe you don't need a person to have. So it's, what are the companies embracing AI? If they're ignoring it, if they're saying it's not important, that to me is somewhat of a red flag, unless they have it's such a niche and it's so different. But if they don't have a plan to embrace technology, we have brands that can be run from your phone. You don't even need a laptop. You have a smartphone. A general manager isn't needed. And on top of that, you could run the business part-time while keeping your job, while deciding what that transition looks like, because the tech stack is so advanced that it's automating certain things. There's no paper. Once a communication goes through, for example, in senior care, it goes back to the franchisee's office, but it also goes back to the family. So maybe they're taking care of mom and dad. The kids know what's going on. Hey, mom fell. Dad, was complaining about his left shoulder. Writing that down so that nothing is being mixed. Using video, using audio. So those are the things. Embracing the tech, embracing the AI. We've seen a lot of brands actually help with cutting down expenses. So when you look at your pro forma and your monthly costs, well, the old model had 5 employees. Now we're down to 4 or 3 or 4. We had a much higher marketing spend or a call center spend. We're able to reduce that cost because we're using AI. It's the future. I'm not saying it's replacing businesses or people, but it is going to cut back on costs. So especially for the franchisee to be more efficient. Lastly, it's support. You are paying an ongoing royalty. What am I getting? If they can't give you a clear answer on what the heck you're getting, run the opposite way. The support is the whole, what you're getting. You're getting, obviously that system, that business on training wheels, that business in a box, but you want the ongoing support after launch. So that support is a combination of your community, which is the culture, the franchisees in the system, sharing knowledge, experiences, and maybe even marketing campaigns together. Having that coach not just teach you at their home office, but actually travel with you in the field. Because I jokingly say it's like a Tony Robbins event. You get really excited. You come home on a Monday and it's like, okay, where do I start? It's almost like you need that coach with you to really help you that first week. We have some franchise companies that will come out and say, okay, this is what we learned. Now let's get our first couple accounts together. Let's set up our first couple vendor relationships together, and let's hire your first 2 employees together. And that way, it takes a lot of the burden off the franchisee. They get the reps in, they learn the verbiage, they learn the process, and then from there, they start to scale.